Looks like the audio isn't working for the sound effects. We'll see. Let's see. If I load this thing up and turn off yeah, I don't know, the Stream Deck thing, it should be working, but it's not.
Stupid as...
Like that part works, but none of the other sound works. It's weird. Who knows? Who knows? But hey, look at this. This is my new drone, the 360-degree anti-gravity A1, it's called. I'm not sure why they call it anti-gravity. And so this is what it looks like. But look at the difference here, though. Watch this. Remember the other drone where I had it on the Insta360 on top of the Mavic 2 Pro? You remember that one? You guys here? Hello? No, I don't. What do you mean marketing? I'm not selling anything. Yeah. Yeah, see this right here? Now, but look at it now. Like, it's just crazy, right? So when you're flying around, you don't see anything. There's no propellers. There's no like when you're in the air, you just look around wherever you want to look while it's flying. It'll fly in one direction, but you can turn your head and look below you, to the side. I think it'd be a great search and rescue opportunity. You know, you keep it about like 100 feet off the ground, maybe 70 feet, and just kind of look around for somebody. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, you know. So you could be like, you know, I mean, you can really see everything. Look around and, you know, see whatever the hell you want to see. See that? Pretty cool, huh? All right, well, what we're going to do tonight, though, is people can call in about the, you know, recent cases, or any cases, really, as long as I've covered them. If I, you know, I don't know about some of the ones that, like, I don't really want to, I mean, I covered Karen Reed, but I think Karen Reed's case is one of the most boring cases in the history of the planet. Just a complete joke of a case, not interesting, nothing. It was just like, yikes, you know. So definitely won't be talking about that if anybody calls in about that. But isn't that cool? Yeah, it's pretty clear too. Like, let me make it full screen right there. See that? Full screen. And it's not really clear. I can't wait to use it in some of these cases out there, because it's absolutely a game changer. 360-degree cameras, like you fly into some and you get a total perspective. You can even, when you upload the video, you can wear goggles. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Lossman. You can wear VR goggles, and it's as if you're standing right there. You know, you put on the what do you call them, the you know, Google Cardboard or whatever. You put them on there and you load up the YouTube video that has it, and then boom. It's pretty amazing. So anyways, I just wanted to show you what that looked like. I mean, this is good too, you know. I mean, but here's like, this is what I was doing before. It's the same camera quality, but look. You've got the drone underneath it. So you can't see right below it. It's also, you know, distorts sort of off to the side, but it's really clear also, you know. Let's see. It's different. Now there's a camera on the bottom and the top of these little miniature drones. It's still 8K and everything. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Just got a lot of crap open here. Yeah. Hey, Wild Bill, what's the name of that guy, that channel that you sent me a long time ago? What was the name of that bass fishing channel? It was pretty good. It was it like Milliken or something like that? Yeah. I just watched it, did a 3-part series on that lake in Ivy Lake or something like that in Texas. I mean, it was crazy. They went out there like how was this lake ever a virgin, like, you know, like nobody ever fished it? It's huge. I don't really understand that, but apparently they went there and they caught these huge, you know, one of the largest in Texas history, 16 pounds, 4 ounces, something like that. And he just kept catching a bunch, 12 pounders, 13, you know. And then everybody heard about it. And now it's not quite as good, but I don't really understand why it's yeah, it's IVIE. IVIE. But anyways, I don't understand how it would get shitty. I mean, other than fish recognizing a lure, because everybody throws their fish back, right? Yeah, but everybody went to this lake, and then they went back 5 years later, and it was not quite the same. Still caught a couple big ones, but like so many people went there, like sort of put too much pressure on the fishery, they said. But I don't know. It's like seems like it would still have the same fish in there. If you know, most people release bass, they don't keep them. But maybe they're more spooked, and you know, when they went there, they caught like 30. It was crazy. Like the first day, like, oh, you know, huge fish too. Anyways, let's see. You made it back to what? Yeah, it's just so crazy in here. It's like I'm doing a show, and it's hard to get like over 100 people watching. It's just bizarre. I really don't know. You know, it's the same shit we've, you know, done for a long time. Did shows in the evenings. You know, I think people pay for views too. Like I've seen shows where there's like 2,000 people watching, and nobody's commenting. It's just sort of slowly moving, and I'm wondering. How's that happening? Oh, you're doing one, Karen? All right. You're the only one that has the notebook, so I think I'm going to send your notebooks out real soon here, Karen. Nobody's really ordered any or anything, so I'll go ahead and send yours out next couple days. But look, we got a 5 for $5er, so if we get 5 people out there that gift memberships, Karen will donate, or at least maybe she was suggesting somebody else do it. I don't know, but she'll donate 5 by herself. Yeah. All right. Anyways, I was looking at the some of these comments underneath my. Yeah, that guy, he catches big fish all over in Texas, but I was just, that one lake, you know, he was like, I mean, I bet you some of the people that used to fish there quietly on the side are so pissed when it just became this massive, like, you know, people just showing up, and, you know, it just probably ruined the whole thing. for that person. Not that people can't do that or not. But. All right, you guys, don't get all started at once. If we get 4 more gifted memberships, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman, then Karen will donate 5. Good way to start the show there. Yeah, I think it just would have been just horrendous. Like if you were somebody that just loved going there, it was nice and quiet, you'd catch big ones, and then you get these huge YouTuber guys go, hey, look at this out here. These are huge. And then everybody and their dog fly in there. I mean, it was great business for the business people, but not the, you know, if you just wanted to fish. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Kind of sad. All right, guys, did you see the challenge up there by Karen? Or just try to start off the show good here. If we get 4 more, then she'll donate 5 all by herself. And there's one by Alley Cake, super chat. Yeah, it was great, great for the economy there. The guy that worked at the bar or whatever, but man, other than that, whew, yikes. And then they took that 16-pounder and put it into some stocking program thing, so it didn't even go back in the lake. All right, so these are the questions, comments that people make on the, I don't put their names, you can put their little thumbnails on there, but underneath my video, the last video that I made, that said devastating. And this is in the Tyler Robinson case. Look how it's like, show me him shooting the shot. See, these people are, you know, like, it's, I don't know if they just don't have common sense or like what's going on here with some of these people. Show me him shooting the shot. Well, I can tell you, look at, they described exactly what they see on video, but when they released the video to the public, they didn't release all of that. They released a lot of it, though. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, share a link. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, can you guys please help support the channel and do the other 3 so we can get the show started off well here? Shouldn't be that difficult. It's like buying a Snickers bar these days. So look at that. Show me him shooting the shot. Well, that's exactly what you see here. So if you remember the document, it says that they see Tyler Robinson on video walking on the north side of the Losi Center building. Then recently we got information that he walks along the sidewalk here, and then he goes inside the building. And that was at about 12:02 or so over here. Then he goes into the building here. Then they describe him coming up the stairs here, wearing the same shirt with the white logo on it. That's what we're going to see. Comes up, and then he's still kind of limping, makes his way right over to here. And then they say at 12:15 he's right there, or comes up the stairs, and at 12:17 he then climbs over this wall here, and that's where he puts together the rifle that he had stored in his pants. Okay, then 5 minutes later, that's how long it took him to take the gun out of his pants, use the screws, and put the rifle together. Then he runs across over here and then kind of shimmies over, and then at precisely 12:23 and 29 seconds he fired and shot Charlie Kirk. It's all going to be on video, every bit of it. You know, they describe it, they discuss what they see. See, these people think that it just doesn't exist. But you can't put that kind of stuff in probable cause documents if it's not real, okay? You can't do that. Like, you don't just go, oh yeah, we got him on camera. Well, it doesn't really exist, we're just pretending. That's garbage, right? So he's right here, and he runs over there. They describe how they see him run over there, and the limp is now missing. Then he goes over here, and he kind of crouches down and kind of shimmies over, and they see it all on video, every bit of it. And then he fires at Charlie Kirk, and then he gets up. Now, you're not going to be able to see his face. Okay. Well, then how do you know it's him, Gray? Because his parents identified him as the person going up the stairs, through the tunnel, up the stairs. Tyler Robinson admitted being the shooter. I mean, it's like, it's so overwhelming, it's almost ridiculous. There's so many different things. And then they describe how he runs across over here, lowers himself down, goes over, runs across, goes across the street and into the wooded area over here. It's all on camera. I'm showing you what they get to see. Do you see what I'm looking at here? There's the camera right there. I'm just slightly ahead of it. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Hey, thanks, Kami and Karen W. Thank you so much there. Appreciate it. But just keep in mind, this is what they are getting to look at. They can actually look over here too. So on one of those other days when Tyler Robinson apparently came out of here a week earlier, maybe they can see him walking across there. Because they can look around just how I'm doing it right here. And when they looked over here, they could see that he went into the wooded area. All right? So I don't know where these people come up with stuff like, show me him shooting the shot, Gray. Yeah, I don't have it. They didn't give us that part of the video, but they gave us the rest of the video. All right? They have the shot. All right, next one. If big people targeted Robinson to get framed, what would it look like? How would they do it? Why did he confess and tell... This might be not, but how did he confess and tell all twice electronically, but when in custody, won't admit anything? Missing booking video. Missing video of actual shooting. No, it's not missing. Actual shooting. The camera should have covered it, etc. It does. We didn't get that given to us because that wasn't what they were showing us in those videos. They wanted to show that he jumped down and he headed towards the woods and he had a rifle, and then the rifle was sort of the key there. Tyler is supposed to be very bright. Hardly anybody buys the text confession. I do. I think it's 100% truthful. Too much detail for prosecution. Hacked SIM card. Israel had way more and pressing motive here. Wow. Israel had a pressing motive, huh? Jesus. Hold on, there's a missing part of that. I gotta see what the rest of it is. These are the kind of comments that show up, and I don't respond normally with like sort of a kind reply. It's just so mind-bogglingly idiotic that it's scary. So let's see. We've got. I'm going to go find that same comment. Special Agent Payton, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That was under the video called "Devastating." All right, there it is. All right, there's the. Yeah, it's kind of small, but it said, Tyler is supposed to be very bright. Hardly anybody buys the text confession. Now, I mean, sane people do. Too much detail for prosecution. Hacked SIM card. Israel had way more and pressing motive here. Why? Because Charlie Kirk said, he started questioning things. Cash should have allowed wider investigation as requested. Kirk has cheap lawyers and good ones that offered services weren't allowed. No, his attorneys are they're high-end attorneys. Extra wide gag order over the whole case. No contrary witnesses will be heard, I bet. Because there isn't any. There aren't any contrary witnesses. That's the whole thing. You guys all believe in this crazy conspiracy shit, and it doesn't exist. Now prosecution says defense can't have DNA evidence to see, only summary. His granny said he never fired a gun and didn't hunt. Okay. I have a picture of him firing like the largest gun you could ever imagine. Okay. You want to see it? I got it right here. Yeah, he never fired a gun. He just, he's just a regular old dude. Where the hell is that? I might have to dig through folders to find it, but. Yeah, I'll have to go look for it. He's like sitting down on the ground firing like the largest rifle you could ever imagine. I don't even know what they call that thing. It probably shoots like 60 millimeter shells. It's ridiculous. All right, and then here we got this one. He didn't do it, period. What do you say in response to something like that, you guys? I mean, what do you say to that? Yeah, and his grandfather never said that. See, these people invent stuff because Candace tells them somebody said something, and then they all believe it. They all repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. I think the text messages are just, Tyler, he was kind of, scared because he was by himself now, and he knew he wasn't going to get the rifle, and they were going to catch him, and he just wanted to. The shooting, after killing Charlie Kirk, he probably didn't feel the way he thought he was going to feel, So then he wanted to, talk to somebody he knew. But anyways, it says, he didn't do it, period. I don't know what to say to people like that. Okay? I just wrote, your brain doesn't exist, period. That's what I put under the reply. I don't know what else are you supposed to say? That's not nice, Gray. Everybody has an opinion. See, that's the whole thing right there. I don't know why. I understand people have an opinion, but I can respond to an opinion however the hell I want to. Right? That's also freedom of speech. It's crazy. He didn't do it, period. Well, your brain is missing, period. Do you understand? Okay. Let's see. Then the next one is, those are fake text messages. Can't use those for timeline evidence. Because you said that they're fake? I think they're 100% accurate and true. There's nothing in them that make you go, just because they don't talk the way you want to talk, you think they should talk. Let me see if I can find this. All right, guys, let's not have these massive lulls in here. We got to try to keep reaching the goal. We sort of made up for part of a other show yesterday, and let's not have a fall back again right after we sort of make some progress. Yeah, right here it says... Yeah, I mean, so the part that I always tell people about that shows to me that these are real. And by the way, you're skipping every time you see these three dots. There's a whole bunch of text that we're not seeing, because they really just put in this document stuff related to the shooting and the gun. That was it. I'm not going to say thank you for your response. Yeah. I think they intentionally do that shit. I just shouldn't respond at all, is the truth. You weren't, and then, okay, so, you know, where it says, you weren't the one that did it right, I am, I'm sorry, I thought they caught the person, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone similar clothing, and so he was reading about all this going on Twitter. Remember how it was all over Twitter? I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. And then he says, Twig says, why? Okay? And then Tyler didn't understand what the why was about, because just before that he'd said, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Well, he was like, why what? You know, because he just said all these things. He goes, why'd I do it? And Twig says, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. You know, it's like, oh, I had enough of his hatred. See, why would you put something like that in a fake message? A confusion moment where somebody doesn't know what the why was about. If you're writing the script, you would just go, why? I had enough of his hatred. You know, you just skip right to it. Instead, there's this moment of confusion, which makes absolute sense because just prior he said 3 things not related to why he did something. You get it? So anyways, I just feel like this is a real thing, and this is how they talk. And we've already heard from family members and so forth that said that it is how they talk. And then some of the newer ones that we got, even Twig sounds the same way. So it just is what it is. Alright guys, any chance you could help support the channel? We just got to keep moving. We just went for no particular reason. Alright. And let's see what the next questions are. Are we sure the walker was Tyler? There are near triplets involved. Jeez. There are near triplets involved in the murder. Charlie was not shot with a high-powered rifle. Where is Jack Ruby? I don't know if this is like a Joker, you know. There are near triplets involved in the murder. What? Let's just take the first part. Are we sure the walker was Tyler? Yes. 100%. Yeah, I mean, he parked his Dodge Challenger over here. They know that. And then he walked with a limp past this camera over here. There's a camera right across the street right there, filming. I'd have to turn everything back on to see it. I actually sent something off today to one of the investigators, see what they say. They probably won't respond because they have a gag order. I was just curious why they never bring up the dry run when they're talking. Thanks, Richard Watts. Yeah, so he walks by here. He's got the limp. He's got the shirt, the black shirt, the jeans, walking with a limp. Turns this direction. He walks with a limp. He cuts across the grass right over here. You don't see him. After he turns, you don't see him on camera. Maybe there's another camera that they got that shows him. Then he goes into this tunnel right there. And right when he goes into the tunnel, you see him wearing the dark shirt. He's limping again, going down the stairs, limping. And then at the other end of the tunnel, you can see him limping and limping. Then he goes up the stairs. You can see he's, limping, struggling with the leg, going up the camera footage, etc. Then he makes his way out to the street here. And then I don't know if there's other cameras in here, but those are going to pick him up limping again. And then he comes out over here, and while he's walking across, right there, he's going to be limping, and he walks over here, limping, you know, swinging the leg, then goes in there, and then eventually makes his way up the stairs, probably slowly because he's got to drag the one leg up, and then he is going to be limping, kind of walking oddly across over to here, and then you'll see the pixels of him going over this wall here, and then you'll see him get up and run. Now that limp is gone, and he never limps again because he never puts the gun back down his pants again. It's amazing how there's still people out there that say that he took the rifle apart after the shooting. Where are these people's brains? Where are they getting this from? It's crazy. Yeah. All right, who's going to do the next challenge then? Seem to be struggling again right out of the chute. Yeah, so he's going to look like that. I mean, almost exactly like that. You know, the blue jeans. He's got a black a backpack, but he had a black shirt on. You'll see him going across the street over there and into the woods. All right, so there's the answer to that question. Okay, it's circumstantial evidence is incredibly powerful because they're going to have, you know, they've looked up his cell phone data. He was using his cell phone at the top of the tunnel right over here. So right there, he was standing, and he was using his cell phone right here at I think it was 11:53 until some time. Like, we don't know when that ended. And then he goes into the tunnel, but they're going to have his cell phone, you know, triangulated perhaps to this spot right here. And then and so then the person going through the tunnel, okay, how about this? Look at it like this. If you were on a jury and you were able to triangulate and say his phone was in this general area here, his parents identified a person on the media walking up the stairs within 50 feet of where his cell phone was, wouldn't you then go, wow, that really was Tyler Robinson? I mean, if I was on a jury and I saw that, his parents identified him, and his phone pinged right in the same area that they identified him in. You understand that, sir? Yes. And then let's see. What about the bullet not matching the rifle? Could it be that the round was too fragmented? Yes, well, that is what it is. Or could it be another weapon used other than a 30-06? No, it cannot be the last part. And no, and yes, it does. That is exactly what they said. It was too fragmented. And when you say, what about the bullet not matching, that is misleading the public. Okay? Nobody said it didn't match. They just said they couldn't make a match because it was too damaged. There's a big difference there. Huge difference. It's sort of like when you say he's found not guilty. You know, it doesn't mean he didn't do it. It just means he was found not guilty. In this one right here, this bullet, without a doubt, was fired from that rifle. In fact, they found the shell casing. That was fired from the rifle at the scene, and only one shot was taken, but the bullet was so damaged they couldn't match it back to the rifle. Okay? Circumstantially, the jury is going to have to believe that that bullet came from that rifle because it's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, if you sit around and go, oh, wow, it's got to be something else, you guys are nuts. I mean, you're crazy. You're looking for a way to try to free a killer. It's ridiculous. His attorneys will try to do something. Yeah. Then the next one, you don't know it was Tyler Robinson. Yeah, I do know. I know that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I am 100% certain that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I have no doubt. There is nothing that doesn't add up. It absolutely makes complete sense to a person whose brain is functioning. If you're out there and you're like, I don't know, man, there's just something, you're crazy. You're a Looney Tune. You are a crazy person. You don't know it was Tyler Robinson. You are stubborn. You are stubbornly remaining ignorant. That is crazy, man. Tyler Robinson did not kill anybody. Why are you so hell-bent on regurgitating official narratives? You have said that some people don't believe the officials for some reason. Aren't you the ultimate shill? You need to get your act together. God, these people are morons. I mean, honest to God, man. Just almost mind-bogglingly stupid. You know, it's like you kind of think back to our education system on times like this, and you just think to yourself, man, they really did fail us, didn't they? I mean, it is crazy, you know, that you can't come up with, you know, I mean, you can't look at it and go, wow, you know, shit, this really does look like Tyler did. You're actually saying Tyler Robinson did not kill anybody. He did. He absolutely killed Charlie Kirk. 100% he killed Charlie Kirk. He's walking around on campus. He's right there. He even parked at, now we know that he parked at 1247 and drove away at 135 while he was waiting for a window to try to get his gun. Okay? It's just, it's such an obvious case. And it even matches. See, that's the beauty of all this stuff. See, they know the time of his text message where he says, this sucks. I'm going to have to leave the gun here. You know what? That is probably going to match exactly the same time frame as when he pulled away. You know, let me get these all turned on. Yeah, these are just all the different things that I got. But right here, when he's right there at 1:33, when he did his Google Maps to get home, right before that, I bet you, he said, I'm not going to be able to get it. This really sucks. Whatever the terminology he used. Do you remember that? I don't know. I don't think they're bots. Thanks, Alley Cake. But hey, guys, I don't know if you guys heard what I said, but man, we really need to try to reach the goals on these nights here. We're on the 18th right now. We had a, you know, Karen had a nice little start there, and then nothing, you know, since then you guys haven't been supporting the channel, and we got to keep on moving, man. I mean, it's just crazy how I have to sit here and ask. People always go, Gray, you're always begging and you're begging. I'm trying to bring in the funds so that my channel survives, and then we're able to donate thousands of dollars too. All right, so if you guys could please consider supporting the channel. You know, I think my channel's worth supporting compared to some of these other idiots that are out there. I mean, it's just the truth. So if if you don't believe that, then don't support the channel. My channel actually does factual information in cases which isn't rewarded at all by YouTube. They just don't give a shit. It's whatever people are excited about and clicking on, that's what they like. And the people doing the real work, putting it together, they don't give two shits. Where's that one part where he says that, though? Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Did anybody else hear that? Okay. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Oh yeah, remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. And then right here he says, all right, I'm going to have to leave it. So that means he's still there. This is probably at 1, I'd say like 29 or so. 1:30 is when this happened right here. Hey, thank you, Tina G. See that? I mean, you know that's exactly when that happened. I'm going to put that quote on Google Earth here. Or, yeah. On Fox News, and then he says, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. This really effing sucks. I think he did that right here. All right, I'm going to put that right there. Ah, crap. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to put that up there. Doesn't that make sense? So he's right here. And, you know, he could have said it like at 12, and then he goes, oh, and then he drove over at one more attempt. But to me, it seems like he's giving up now. So he goes, all right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. 1:33, Google Maps, how to get back home. 1:35, he pulls away. Isn't that awesome? I mean, they've got like his whole, I bet you their timeline is phenomenal. You know, I think they've probably got him locked into different areas. I think it's probably the most ridiculous timeline you've ever seen. All right, we got Tina G up there. Anybody else out there? We need to get the support. Man, you guys, why is it every night that I have to ask? It's just it's not fun. All right, back to here. You have said that some people don't believe the officials for some reason. Aren't you the ultimate shill? No, I think when law enforcement puts out a probable cause document, it is absolutely something you can trust. And then sometimes there's little elements of it that get changed at a later date, but they can't lie in probable cause documents. They can't do it. All right. I was pretty certain that was going to be a troll. I didn't bring up politics, gamer. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, gamer. You sound like a lunatic. Nobody brought up politics, you fool. All right, hey, look at that. We got Marty's Bar and Grill doing a challenge. All right, so if we get 10 people to do one channel membership, then he'll do 10 by himself on a different platform, doing on coffees, which YouTube doesn't take as big a chunk of. And there's one by Stephen Connerly. Do you guys remember me talking about politics tonight? Anybody? Did I say something? I don't get it, man. Yeah. Yeah, gamer's out of here. Yeah, so we got Stephen Connerly. We need 9 more now. All right, let's see. And it says, you have said that some people don't believe the officials for some reason. Aren't you the ultimate shill? Jesus. I question law enforcement. Like, when I see it, I go through it. If it doesn't make sense, I say something. Just like in the Debbie Collier case, right? That's like the quintessential. They didn't have a probable cause, but they gave a press conference. They stated certain things. And then I called the guy, and he told me that something was missing from the crime scene that should have been there, but the case always still looked a certain way to me. And so I just kept questioning it, and then eventually it turned out to be exactly what I thought it was. That it was not a homicide, that she took her own life. Thanks, Stephen Connolly and Wild Bill Wassman, and then Horse Teeth, Cow Teeth. The coolest name. Or one of the cool names. It's crazy. Horse Teeth, Cow Teeth. How's it? How you feeling, Marty? Yeah. All right, so the rest of you guys, we need 7 more gifted memberships. And then down here, are you reporting on facts? Because I'm not seeing any. Isn't that just like a ridiculously, like almost reckless kind of comment? I mean, almost like you're not even aware of reality, you know? Hey, Brandon, you know, I'll keep it real with you. You're a pile of crap. Okay, get out of here. They're good mods. And then notice how you cut the mods down and then you trash me too. Just get out of here, man. Go do something else with your life. I know it's Saturday, you're drinking heavily. You thought, ooh, this would be a great time, time to go into Gray's channel and, you know, toss shit around. It's just not going to work for you, man. It's not going to work. Hey, thanks Tina G and Alley Cake. All right, there's 5. We just need 5 more. Are you reporting on facts? Because I'm not seeing any. That's all I've been doing here. Now, you could go, I don't, because they don't believe anything that, you know, the feds say. Well, guess what? This isn't the feds. This is the Washington County Sheriff and then the Utah County Sheriff in Utah. Right? It has nothing to do with the feds. You know, they may have helped out get some of the surveillance footage loaded up or whatever. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Facts are when, you know, they presented information and you see still shots of people. You see, you know, in the probable cause document, the elements and the time frame information they're putting in there are facts of the case. Okay? It just is. Now, you don't believe any of them, so therefore it's not a fact. But that's what they put in the probable cause documents. They're called freaks, Devin, not maniacs. Okay? Well, I mean, I don't mind somebody having some drinks on, you know, Saturday or whatever. I mean, I might have one later myself. I'm just saying, you know, these trolls from the community out there, you always see them on Saturday or whatever, Friday, Saturday. They get all wasted and come in and, you know, they think they're just so clever. Hey, watch me. Watch my next comment. All right, you guys, we need 5 more. People were moving forward, and then you just all stopped. Okay, we need to get the 5 so that Marty's challenge will be reached. Right? That really helps support the channel. We need 5 more. 5 individuals. And then down here he says, but where is the proof of this evidence? I haven't heard one person report and show any of this evidence. I did. I have. I've shown you the evidence. Okay? I've done it. Like many times. I mean, it's almost to a point where it's, you know, I'll show part of it again. Let's see. Not that one. I think I need another one of these. There it is, that one. Thank you, Timothy Cecil. All right here. I always think this is like the coolest video I've made, I think, right here. All right, clowns, you just ask the question, where's the evidence of something? I'm showing it to you. I can prove stuff on my own. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pause it again. That right there is the 360-degree camera at the top of inside the tunnel. So you see that right there? There's me looking up with my great face. And then right there, now look at this. Here we go. That's exactly the same place. See that? That right there is him walking down the stairs. And as a matter of fact, right, these two dots right there are this dot and that dot. You know, you can when you rotate it around, you can go like higher up. If I zoom out like this and you went like this, right? See, it's however you want to do it. It can change the angle of what it looks like. But that absolutely is the same spot there. See that? It's right there. Okay, 100%. And I'm just looking. He's only on the second step down, so his left foot is on this one right here. Looks like. So there's a top, and on this one right here. This is where he's at. But we got that one, right? So this is what I'm proving to you. That's a video still frame that they've got there. You see that? That's a video still frame. Did we do it? I think I missed something. Did Karen give 5 again? And Jim Law, well, thanks, Karen. Jeez, that was very kind of you. And there we go. So we did it. Awesome. So I just want people to realize this is how it's going to work. You know, if I'm playing this video and there's somebody walking, like, look, there's people down there. See that? They just walked. This person's walking this direction. And those other people were leaving. This camera is going, this is how clear it's going to be. Watch. It's going to look just like that when Tyler Robinson comes down the stairs, but the other direction, right? It's going to look that clear. Does that make sense? That's what they have. We're just seeing still frames that they use to see if people could identify him. And that's all they had at the time. So let me show you how this worked. Okay. I mean, this to me is interesting, but I've already thought through all of this stuff. Okay, it's not. Which one is the 3, 6? There it is. Right, so this is what law enforcement had. They knew where the shot came in. So they came in and quickly identified the person on the roof. That's where they started from. Okay, then they went backwards in time and then saw him coming like this. Then they went and looked at other camera footage and found the footage of him coming through the tunnel. Then they sent those images out to the public, etc. Then probably the next day they found that he was on campus at 8:28, left at 9:34. Remember that one? You know, he was. So they found other stuff later, but when they initially put the information out there, they didn't have all of that back yet. And then, again, I've shown this like 9 times lately, but I just think it's so important that more people see this kind of stuff. Okay, right there. See how that lighting is totally different? And as a matter of fact, if we go back just a little bit here, see how you can barely see the holes that are in the wall there. But here you can see it really clear because of that orange light that's on there. Okay, so there's the camera that filmed him in the tunnel. And then I move this right up to the right next to it, put it right on it, and I put it on a tripod. So, you know, if you turn it around, this is exactly what that camera is going to film. So they're going to be able to watch Tyler Robinson walk all the way down this hall here, limping. And then they're going to see him limping around this corner right here. And then limping up the stairs. Then right after he goes around that stairs, they can cut to the other camera that's right around the corner. So let's move it. So now, see, that's where I just came from. I guess if I just rewind it slightly. So let's just go here. See, there it is. That's where he was filmed. And let me show you where that shot is. Right here. See that? See how it's got that same lighting on in the background? So he's standing right there. But I've already moved it away from the camera. And then you go up these stairs right here. You'll be able to watch him go up to about right here. Then you can pick him up on this camera. It's like a movie. You can just literally go from one camera to the next. And I don't know how many other cameras there are out there that we don't have. But that's exactly what they're going to have. And this camera here is going to show you what I'm about to show you. Okay, watch. So we go up. There's the 360 degree camera. Stop it. Yeah, it's going to be just like this. You know, I'm right there. And you're going to see him come up the stairs in that video. And that looks just like this. Watch. There it is. He's at the bottom of the stairs. There's the garbage can over there. That's right there, the garbage can. Here, I'll be Tyler here. Coming up the stairs, see? And then around the corner here. Up the stairs, see that? Boom. See, that's exactly what he does. And then let's go to this one. And then you can actually play it where it looks like it's a video. See that? Watch. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm missing one of them. Oh, that's in the wrong order. Hold on. Come on. There it is. Jesus. There it is. Rename. Okay. Sort by name. Sort by name. Alright, so it's like this. 1, 2, 3. Right around the corner. See that? Ding, ding, ding. And then just recently we found out that while he's going around this corner, they can see a bulge on the video that they're watching. See, they're watching a video. These are just still frames from the video. It seems like the Candace Owens, Baron Coleman people, they don't understand that still. All the way to this day, they don't get it. Hey, thank you, Shay. Shay, is it Eddie or Edel? Shay Edel. Oh, that would be good. A blizzard. I like that exact one. I like the Oreo cookie one. You could probably tell from the video I've eaten a couple of those. Anyways, that's it. So look at there. That's the shot they have, and then right after that, there's the camera right there, right? And then he goes up these stairs, right here. And then something I discovered yesterday, I don't know why it didn't look before, but watch. Boom. Look at right there. See that? There's another one. So that means that camera is going to film him, probably his head down or maybe just from his neck down going out this way right here. Isn't that crazy? Let me see it. Let's see if I go right here. It's almost head high. Can I still see? Yeah, you can still see it. So I think that camera is going to pick it up. His whole body. Alright, and what else did this? But where is the proof of evidence? See, I'm good at back engineering what law enforcement has. Put a 1 in the comments if you haven't seen me in multiple other cases where we've only heard a description, and by the time the real evidence comes out, it's as if you'd already seen it because I showed you exactly what they had. You remember you know what's even a weirder one? The Delphi case. You know, I made that animation years ago, and it was so close to what the video had that it almost seemed like we'd already seen it. Isn't that weird? I remember watching that video of Bridge Guy just going, man, I've seen this like 100 times. It's weird. Yeah. You guys remember that. And by the way, hit the like button, you guys. Jesus, how hard is that to do? Gosh, Cray, if you weren't so mean about it, maybe I would, you bastard. Hey, hit that like button, 10, 20, 25, 30. Hit that like button, 40. Nowhere here, 50, 55, 60. It's one of the easiest damn things to do in the world. Use your nose, use your toes, whatever blows, but hit that like button. It's so damn simple. It's almost unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, you've seen it. An Idaho 4 case. I drove out there. I showed you exactly what, like they gave us the surveillance footage. I told you what they're going to have. And, man, it's exactly. And that's just the way it works. You know, these people, 90% of the people following the Charlie Kirk case they're not in the true crime world, so they don't have a clue about anything. They think it's just some cool little, fun little like TV show where we can all just make up stuff, make believe, and make it really funny and cool. Like Candace Owens is an imbecile in the true crime world. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Her brain doesn't work correctly. Now you might say, well, what about Barron? Well, Barron, go look him up. He was like some undercover, he's the Fed slop, okay? He's making up, I hate that term, by the way, Fed slop. What a joke. You guys are... I'm not going to go into the Bahamas. I don't know. I've sort of lost interest in that case a little bit. If they make an arrest, then I'll be more interested. At this point, once there's an arrest, we'll get to have a probable cause, and then we'll get loaded up with new information. This case isn't one of those ones where, if we go there, we can figure out something, and, it just isn't. Yeah, the one that drove in the lake, yeah. I did. I think that's probably the closest to solving what happened in any case that I've ever done. Using the overlay, right? Showing the, the vehicle going into the water, using the overlay, and then literally fading out of sight. That probably was one of my best that I ever did on that one. It's Kylie Rodney, right? That's the name. Is that her name? Kylie Rodney? I think that's it. And I've used the overlay in other cases too, So that's something I feel like I developed that. I came up with it, never seen it before, and then you started seeing other people using it after that. Even law enforcement. Like, oh yeah, we did an overlay, like in the Sebastian Rogers case. They took the surveillance camera and of those lights, flashlights, and I said, hey, give me the daylight one, I'll do an overlay. And then he told the FBI, hey, yeah, this guy wants to do this, and they go, ooh, wow, what a cool idea, and then they did it. It's like, we'll never get to know what the truth is behind that. Because I told the dad that. All right, we're back to the lulls again. Maybe somebody else out there can do some sort of a challenge. That'd be good. We need a couple more, like 2.5. No, actually need 3. We're only at 50% right now. Yeah, it's not a paid vacation. Yeah. I mean, if let's see. I don't know. I mean, if I worked for one of the companies, they'd probably pay for it and send you out there. Like Ashley Banfield, she mentioned that maybe she'd go out there. There goes my stomach. Went from what I just drank. All right. Anyways, how about somebody? Why don't somebody call in? Hey, look at there's Benny. Let's see if we can get this thing to work again. I haven't used it for a while. I think I just, yeah, turn off the music part. Right? So if you want to talk about this case or any of the cases that we've been covering, go ahead and call in. Oh, so she's gone there? Okay. She told me she was going. Did she do anything? Did she figure anything out when she went there? She told me I could use anything that she makes. Hey, let's see. Can I answer it? I'm not sure how to do it. I'm just not answering over here. Huh. Not sure. I gotta try to. Let me turn this thing off so it doesn't go to my phone. You'll have to try that again in a second. Yeah, it's weird. It didn't show up on here. On my... It was supposed to show up on my pad over here. So maybe try it again. Look like it was somebody from Colorado. Yeah, it's supposed to show up on my... what was funny? Okay, let's see. Oh wait, hold on.
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, who's this?
Timothy. Yeah,
Timothy, what's going on?
What's up, man? Yeah, this case is like so obvious, man. I don't even understand why people are still like talking about it in the sense that they still just don't get it, you know?
Well, I'm just talking about it because a lot of new stuff has just come out, but at the same time...
No, I know, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, people are just, they're still, like, thinking that he didn't do it, though.
Yeah, they're trying to make it intriguing. Ooh, hey, maybe...
Just like they did with Koberger, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Same type of people, you know. They're still thinking Koberger didn't do it, even to this day, because they have no other thing they have nothing else to talk about. That's what, like, they don't have content unless Koberger, you know, because if you think somebody, like, for example, in this case, I am just now having more stuff to talk about because of these warrants that just came out that had a whole bunch of new information in it. But he, like, if you say he didn't do it, you have unlimited content. You could sit there and talk about just the craziest notions, you know, like an Egyptian airplane, or maybe it was TPSU, and, you know, blah 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 blah. You know, it's like you're you're not limited. You got tons of stuff to talk about because you can invent a new story every day.
I feel, and you've said this before, but I feel like they definitely just do it for content because, like, not just in true crime, but in other spaces, they do the same thing. Just promote crazy stuff just to get people to.
Yeah, you're.
All that stuff.
Okay, you sort of got weird sounding there for a second.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
I think they just do it for like just content, for like likes, subs, and stuff like that. They don't just do it in true crime either, so it's kind of like annoying. But
yeah, they're probably pretty smart.
Yeah.
It's like maybe I should do that. Just invent stuff because it's like, man, they get. If you want to, I have to spend my shows asking all the time for people to support the channel. But when you have 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 people watching, you don't really have to do that. But the only way to get 3,000 or 4,000 people watching is if you pretend everything is sensationalistic and have some wild takes. And even if you don't believe it, you just got to do it because it sells. And that's what YouTube promotes. There are people who are putting out stuff that people, the truth is YouTube puts out stuff that people are interested in, or they recommend things that they're interested in because they're watching it. And so the problem is people watch those people and they get recommended.
Right, so like YouTube sees like, hey, this person's channel.
Right.
And then they go like, oh, these videos will promote these videos that they're doing.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, I don't think they promote conspiracies. Like, it just turns out they end up doing that, because, like, they don't go, hey, let's promote conspiracies. What they do is, it turns out, like, if you have 70,000 people watching lunatics like Cannasones and Barron and so forth, they're watching them. They're going to go, wow, okay, so these people like this type of content. Okay, and then they...
Right, exactly. Yeah, you got it right.
But the problem is like, I'm putting out stuff that's interesting and factual, but it doesn't sell. So I get very, like right now, 140 people. What a joke. I mean, I have 180,000 subscribers. You would think accidentally 600 would show up, but they don't. Because YouTube doesn't send it out at all, because my channel hasn't been one of the ones that the vast majority of the people are interested in. So what they do is they just send everybody over to the ones that everybody watches because they want to just keep going and going and going and going on that like it's a gold rush, where the rest of us who just put out the factual information, it's a struggle, So.
Yeah, and I know. Like I said, I do what I can for now, but like in the next couple months, I'll be able to help out more.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying, like some of these nights, it's crazy.
It sucks, though. I understand that. I understand from your perspective, though, how it's kind of frustrating, but.
No, it's very frustrating. Yeah, it's not.
Anyways, back to the case. So, like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's breaking up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, just some of that new information is pretty interesting, I think. So. Especially like the new surveillance and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, it's good stuff.
So, all right, man. Well, I'll let someone else call in. But,
all right. Well, thanks for calling in, Timothy.
All right, man.
Timothy Cecil. Oh, well, wait, before you leave, have you left yet?
Oh, wait. Oh.
Well, how's everything going for you over there?
No, good. So, like I said, I'll be able to help out more. Like next month.
Well, I'm just talking about like in your life, how are you?
No, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing good.
You're doing good? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, have a good one.
Well, I'll let someone else call in.
All right. See you later.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, see you. Bye.
Call from
Evelyn.
Oh, good.
Hello?
Gray Hughes.
That's right.
Gray, I've been following you since the Kanika Jenkins case, and I just wanted to let you know that I love your work.
Well, thank you.
From South Carolina.
Awesome. Well, you have to turn off the audio in the back. You can't watch the show at the same time.
Okay.
Because you'll hear the audio 30 seconds later. You got to just This is just a phone call
Yes,
with
sir.
you and me on here.
Yes, sir. I muted my TV.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, I remember when you straight dropped when you created his graphics for him.
Yeah, he still uses that. That was a pretty good one.
It was.
That's pretty good.
We were all brand new to the internet.
Yeah, that part where he jumps off
you.
and he's like straight draw. I thought that was pretty cool. I just watched it again. I was like, man, I made that thing. It's pretty good.
You did. It's awesome. But just keep up the good work. Love you from South Carolina.
Well, thank you. Have a good one. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I guess somebody just wanted to call in. But hey, you guys, can you please help support the channel? You notice how we're doing this call-in now, and it's just dead as a doornail, all right? And I have no other source of income on here. You guys are it. All right? There's no ad revenue because I don't get promoted. And so basically I rely on the people watching to support the channel. Now people go, oh, he's e-begging. I don't have any. I'm just asking you to help support the channel. You can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care. I'm relegated to having to ask because there is no other options. All right? So please help support the channel. We asked like 47 times. We started doing okay, but we're still at 50% still. All right? So if we can get another challenge going, that would be awesome. All right, so call in about the cases. All right? It'd be cool to have discussion. If you think that there's something that just doesn't add up, let me know. Let me know what it is. I don't know, Waylon Jennings. What are you talking about, man? Well, because I like to do both of it. That's why, Waylon. We have a lot of commitments that we have out there. I'm not sure if you're trying to diss me or what you're doing with your question, but my channel, I haven't done that tonight. I said I need you guys to support the channel, but we have a charity, a scholarship fund that we support. We've given $24,000 to that so far. We have a DNA fund that we give money to. Okay. What do you want me to do? Just stop doing all those things? Because that's the only way to do it. Apparently, nobody heard what I just said. Jesus. That's unbelievable. Yeah, we're at like 45%.
Call from
Glenn.
Who? Hello?
Hey, Gray. It's Glenn. I talked to you a little bit on the Buller case there.
In which one?
The Buller case.
Buller? I don't remember it. Go ahead.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, you're doing good work, man. I see you're turning it up everywhere, all the time. I see you out there. Yeah, I was just wondering, as it concerns the weapon that was used in this Kirk thing. Did you hear what's her name, Candace? Not that one believes everything she says, but at one point she said specifically where it was. I just noticed that you didn't have it plotted. And
where what was?
The weapon that they recovered supposedly.
Yeah, it's just in the wooded area there.
Yeah, she had it plotted exactly supposedly where it was located.
Where?
Stand by. I was trying to call my. Yeah, it's behind the house, right? Not far from where he had his car parked. This new revelation of where he was parking his car there. Yeah,
I mean, there's like we walked up these stairs. Maybe it was up there. We don't know exactly where it was. Candace's very few pieces of information she puts out is accurate.
Well, I'm no argument there, but she was making reference to the. Apparently, she got it from an inside source, and whoever it was that might have been involved with the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's. I'll give you the episode number here. It's episode 281.
Yeah.
Clock count is 1202.
Oh, you got it? I'll go get it.
Yeah, so that she shows the plotted location there, nice close up. And
So you're saying episode 282, you said?
stand by again. I'm looking again.
I think that's what you said.
281. Episode 281, clock count 1202. 1202.
How come she has all these? Oh, 281.
281, clock count 1202.
Huh. It's weird. Like, did she get rid? Oh, they're live streams. That's what she did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that's pretty specific, and it kind of, whether it's true or not, it's pretty specific. You know what I'm saying? And, unlike someone just,
Mm-hmm.
sloppily making a circle. I mean, that's pretty specific. And quick access, the only reason I would think to put it there, I guess, would be quick accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
And what lends a little bit of credibility to that rationale is the fact where he had his car parked, as you were talking about yesterday.
So you're saying it's episode 281 and then 12 what?
1202. 1202.
Okay, just a second.
The clock counts can sometimes differ by a few
Does she
seconds.
show a picture on it?
Yeah, it's a plotted like a SI satellite imagery.
Okay, hold on. I'm playing the audio. Hold on. Oh, there it is.
You see it?
Well, I see it says a vacant property. That's where the... Well, that's just kind of a generic pin, I think, you know. I don't know. Doesn't seem...
Connected to that, two doors down, where the news crews were interviewing a neighbor.
Yeah, I know where all that stuff is. Yeah.
Right. So you know the part where they walked the neighbor between their house towards the rear, and that news report I saw. Now this is not Candace anymore. I'm talking about the local news here.
Mm-hmm.
But during that interview, she gestured over towards the area where Candace is claiming the weapon was found.
Yeah, no, I've seen that, but that's just I've been there. It's just a wooded area. It's just...
Well, I saw all your stuff. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, like you would just go, you know, like the lady was just pointing down, you know, not like where... You could just point to an area and it's just down there. Like, I don't know... Like, Candace has it right behind a rock wall or something, right?
Well, this here is directly behind a residence.
Yeah, I see.
Like, as I mentioned a few seconds ago.
I have it pinned in there. I put a pin.
Yeah, if that is where specifically where it would be, you know, you'd say, why would you want to put it so close to a house? And like I said before, it could be for quick accessibility. His plan was to jump in his car, drive down there, snatch a gun, and get out of there. But at some point down there, they had a cop stationed. And I think that's why his car was parked.
Well, yeah, that's
whatever.
That's what I said. Yeah, I mean, I just I made a whole video about like what this new information means. Like he just parks, you know, at 12:47. He moved his car to right behind the house that had construction going on, and like I remember earlier in the day, when he was leaving the crime scene, apparently like an excavator operator said he talked to him and said, "Hey, you can't be here." So he got, you know, so he must have gone through there. So he knew that the weapon was sort of near that construction house, and then eventually parked there at like 12:47, and then I think about probably like 12 or let's say 1:29 in the morning, he sends a text to Twig saying, "All right, I'm gonna have to leave it. that really effing sucks. And then at 1:33, he goes to Google Maps and he types in his address to go home. And then at 1:35, he drives away and goes home because he gave up on. That was that cop that was sitting there, and he just couldn't get to the rifle, and the rifle was already gone at that point, anyways. Like I would say, like he was there for 7 hours, and the rifle isn't in the woods anymore. They've already removed that sucker. He just sat there.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, you did a good job. You were all over the place down there. I saw all your stuff. There is a slight discrepancy in the shadow analysis. I did a shadow analysis on things too. The driveway with a security camera that drops down into the parking lot.
Well, it's not mine's 100% accurate. So when you say if you found a discrepancy, you didn't do it right.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
Well, I have an actual program that I spent.
I know what I'm doing.
$1,700, so it's actually right at 807. It's 1007 or 1008.
Well, I did it 5 different ways, and
you did it wrong.
Showing some discrepancy in that location there, right above the parking lot.
Well, what do you mean by discrepancy? What are you saying?
The azimuth of the sun.
No, I know, but what did you come up with that was different than me?
It was just off the top of my head, it's like a 10-minute difference.
Okay. Well.
Something like that. But I worked it off of various shadows of him walking, tree shadows.
Right. Well, I based it off of an actual surveillance camera time of 9:57. And me walking there. I actually walked from that house to the exact spot, and it takes about 10 minutes. So when I did the shadows, of course it's like 10:07, 10:08-ish. That's about it.
Rest assured, I worked it carefully as well. But no, other than that, I think I don't know why. I don't know why that discrepancy. All the other times line up perfectly.
Yeah, I think you must have done something that didn't work because. I'm telling you, I have a program that you literally type in the geo coordinates, you type in the date, everything, and it moves the sun around to exactly where it was at that time. I compared the shadow angles from my program and the actual image there, and put the camera in the same place, height off the ground, and it absolutely perfectly lines up. So,
okay. Well, I did notice there was a little leeway you were given in the times you were given for that location.
10:07, 10:08, something like that. Because remember, Candace said it was 8:07, right? So I think somebody that was just off by 2 hours on what she said.
Let me ask you: is that driveway sloped at all, or do you remember?
It just seems kind of like I think the driveway was pretty flat. I can look at it. It every driveway slopes to the street a little bit, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I want to bring your attention. This is just in case kind of a deal. I doubt it'll come into play, but it's something I located. You know where that security cam is, where he was seen walking by, and you've got a suspect parking area right nearby. You know where you see the Charger drive by the security cam, and it keeps going?
Yeah, well, you have that house over here.
Right, okay. Now, if you make a right down that street, it's a dead end. You know that.
Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac. He didn't go that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, pull out of that dead end, get out on the main drag, and drive down the street towards that dead end on the main street. Okay, just after you pass that point, you go to Street View. I call it the Bat Cave. There's literal access to a small wooded area that's it's depressed.
Well, describe it again. Okay, so you're at the person's house, and instead of going right into the cul-de-sac, you go straight.
Right, just go like he did. Just tear out of there, go straight to the main road.
Right, 800 south, and then what direction do you turn, left or right?
Right.
Well, you go
down.
right.
Go down, and look at where the cul-de-sac is down there. Go past the cul-de-sac slightly, and then go to Street View.
Yeah.
And look at the cutaway in the walk, the cutaway in the sidewalk, accessible by vehicle. And then look at the recessed area, the wooded area that's recessed. You could back a vehicle down in there, and it would never be seen.
Well, when you say past it, what do you? I mean, because there's this one spot that looked like it was like there's a tree house or something, and.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. Hold on, stand by.
It's like a cliff there.
I'll get on Street View and 493 800 South. 493 800 South.
Jeez.
And then scoot a little bit west of it, just past the telephone pole, and you'll see the sidewalk is cut. It's a depressed sidewalk. You see a little trail that immediately takes a right. So once you back a vehicle in there, it's a disappearing act. I doubt if this will come into play, but it is something in the mix, just in case.
Yeah, you're talking about right. I mean, I don't know if you can see my screen, but it kind of goes downhill a little bit, and there's a little tree kind of thing.
Yeah, it's you can see it from the street. You can see if you pull in there, it immediately goes to the right. So
no, I see. Yeah, I see it. I don't know. I mean, could be a spot. You know, seems like you wouldn't be like as soon as anybody saw you in there, they'd go, "Oh my God, why is that person in there?" You know. But if you just parked on like the places I have him park are on, just past that guy's, that house that had the camera on it. He parks, and then there's this place where there's a fence and a tree, and then on the other side there's a fence. So there's no camera shots at all. All you have to do is open up his passenger door and change pants, and if anybody came by, he would just throw, and just sort of get into the car. Like, he could see them coming from a distance too.
Yeah, so. And by the way, I'm just sharing a data point with you. I'm not proposing a hypothesis here. Mm-hmm. I'm just FYI in case.
No, sort of an interesting. I'll put. How about this? I'll put a pin there, and what was your name again? I'll put it in there.
Glenn.
I'll put Glenn's spot. How about that?
Well, call it just say Bat Cave. That's what I call it.
Okay, I'll put that also. Bat Cave.
All right.
But I'll have Glenn's spot, Bat Cave. How about that?
Well, yeah, again, it's just a data point, like I said. I'm not making a substitute theory here, okay? Both of your parking spots look good to me, the ones you showed. They're logical.
And they kind of match where he was moving around,
Yeah. A
little bit.
Also, your little walk you took where you were behind, let's see here, how do I explain? You go through the construction property. Mm-hmm. Just follow your escape trail. And you go through that wooded area between residences on the south and the north. Uh-huh. And you start north. You start north up to where he eventually starts running and cuts over to the sidewalk and starts going on the sidewalk. Okay. When you went through that area, you kind of didn't realize one thing that was mentioned is people talking about chicken coops.
Yeah, I remember the chicken coops. I didn't really... I mean, I'm not sure where all this stuff comes from when people say chicken coops. Like, they walked up there, there's chicken coops. I don't think law enforcement's ever said that they found the gun in chicken coops, or... I saw the chicken coops when I went up there.
Yeah. And one other thing in that area, too, in that same area, where he's seen on the security cam on one side of the house, the TMZ video, where he's seen on one side of the house, he goes behind the house and then he's seen emerging. Okay? One thing I found very strange is the person's posture when they were first seen. What are you doing? What is that body blank. What is that body motion? I don't understand.
What do you mean when he's walking with the when he's got? Because he goes by there earlier, you know, with the maroon shirt at like 10:07 or 8, and then later he comes. He looks the same, other than he's limping.
I'm talking the TMZ video where he's seen walking behind the house. He disappears for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And by the way, I calculated that he was not running behind that house. He was walking. That's walking speed, not running speed. I timed it.
Yeah. Well, people said he ran and then he did something in the trees back there, and then he came out. Maybe that's why law enforcement was looking. I couldn't tell if he was running. He ran out of there. It looked like.
Right. I agree with that, but he was not running the full time behind the house. I timed it, and then the part that strikes me very strange is what's up with what is he doing with his body when he's first seen just before he disappears? What are you doing? You're certainly not trying to keep a low profile. Some kind of strange, awkward body posture going on there.
But what do you mean? I don't even know what you mean. It's hard to really see what he's doing at all. He's just trying to get out of there, you know?
And, it's just simple. I know what a human being looks like during natural movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're briskly walking away from a place so as to get away from it, or trying to keep cool, walk real cool, keep things low. I know what those look like, but I got no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, it's almost like he had I think he has the backpack on, so it kind of has that hunched look a little bit. I see I have it on the screen right now. It's
I've seen people with backpacks on too. Yeah,
he's hunched over. He's definitely he's hunched over for sure, you know.
But there's just something ain't right about whatever motion he's got going on at that point in time. That struck me strange.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
And then the other thing down at the pavilion, what's up with the different versions of the shots of his back? You see bubbling on one, another one you see absolutely no bubbling.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Like I know, but what do you mean? Who's bubbling? What person are you talking about?
I said down at the pavilion.
Yeah.
When you say, hey Gray, when you say somebody, what are you talking about? It makes them sound like they're dumb or something.
Well, because what you're saying is like you're talking about a bubble in a back.
Yeah, be polite, buddy.
Well, why? Well, you're not exactly polite yourself, you know. You're trying to. Okay, all right.
I'm just sharing stuff with you, man.
Right. So what are you talking about when you talk about? That's just how it sounds like. What are you talking about? Bubble in the back. You know.
This T-shirt. You haven't seen the videos where his T-shirt.
You talking about Charlie Kirk's back or?
Charlie Kirk's back. The rear views of his shirt.
Yeah, we hadn't been talking about Charlie Kirk this whole time, so it didn't make sense to me what you were saying.
Well, that's why I want to preface what I said down at the pavilion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down at the pavilion. You know, what does that mean, though? Why not just say when Charlie Kirk was shot, he had a bubble like bubbling in his back when he got shot.
What pavilion means in this case is a place where Charlie Kirk was. That's where he was located.
Okay.
Under the pavilion.
Yeah. So,
that's where that.
Yeah. So so you're sort of don't really like you don't think he was actually shot.
What? I'm just talking about the bubbling of the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
One shot will show it with the big hump in it. From another angle, it's completely flat. Mm-hmm. And there's a one that just came out, supposedly another one directly from the rear. That's a different look also.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything odd or unusual about anything that happened to him. What I see is that if you had 3,000 frames a second, you might be able to see it clear, but it looks like a big entry wound, like the bullet was yawing, went in there, it fragmented, and because of the way it went in, there was a lot more surface force and it created a huge shock wave, and it's so fast, you know, it's just like, and it created a whole bunch of things that people go, ooh, and they slow it down, they try to pretend that it means something,
Well,
and it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, it has nothing to do with this, what you're talking to right now, man. I've been through all the anatomy and ligaments and the vertebrae and the C6 and C5. I've looked at all that. I'm just talking about whether someone's messing with the video or what, you know, because different images of the back, the rear of his shirt look different.
I mean, there are people that have manipulated the video, you know, the Candace Owens types, you know, they come up with crazy things, darken it up, zoom in, make things look certain ways. But just regular footage.
Trolls everywhere. Trolls are everywhere, so who knows? That's more or less what I'm getting at. Is someone messing with this video, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because what these images are showing are completely different things, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
here's an interesting.
I thought. See, my thing is, I didn't know you were talking about Charlie Kirk, and when you said there was bubbling in his back, I said I know what the hell you're talking about. But now that you said that you're talking about Charlie Kirk, I still don't know what you're talking about. I never saw bubbling in the back, and nor do I. See, when I saw it, it just looks. I know what that stuff looks like. High speed shit. That's just what it looks like, and I know how camera footage works. If you shoot at 30 frames a second, you're missing like you're only seeing about 1% of what you could have seen had it been filmed at like 3,000 frames a second. You know.
Well, that's academic. I'm just talking about different looks, supposedly from the same situation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, interestingly, the image is seen everywhere. The image at the college media took from up on the second story. I did all the calculations on that because I was wondering how much, if any, of Charlie Kirk's head could the shooter see from his vantage.
Yeah, you can see his whole head, yeah, from the shooter position.
You can almost his whole head.
Well, I think you can see the whole head. I've seen.
I worked it out, buddy.
Okay. All right. See you later. Buddy.
Hundreds of hours on that. But.
Okay, see you later. All right. Have a good one. This guy's this guy. Oh my God, hundreds of hours. He's done all the calculations. Go do something else. Not interested. Let's see. Show me it. I bet there's this big chalkboard with algebra everywhere. Let's see. That was ridiculous. Yeah. Well, there's some discrepancies with your time frame there. No, there isn't. Okay. There isn't. Yeah, that was tough. And doesn't that deserve, like right now, you guys, we're only at about 55% of the goal. So can you guys please help support the channel again? Maybe somebody do a challenge in the show here. I just don't understand the massive delays and, just not doing it. Especially when you have to deal with frustrating crap like that. Let's see. I don't know. People might not think I have the patience. That's just garbage what he just said. And even if it's not, who cares? Like, it was half his head. So what, man? That means he got shot. Maybe his neck was showing. He got hit in the neck. Maybe he was aimed at the chest and the yawing made it go up a little bit. Who the hell knows? Yeah. So who's going to do a challenge, you guys? We're currently at we're 100 and Let's see. $130 short of reaching just the normal goal where I donate 5. Okay, so if we can, I don't know, seems like it's going to be an absolute struggle again. I mean, we're sitting here doing the phone calls, nobody's supporting the channel. It's just the same shit that we do every time. Every time we do phone calls or play press conferences, etc. Right. You got people that'll match if you do it. Yeah, it was a rough one. What else should I have done, Shelky? Should I pretended? You know, you could tell that they wanted to pretend that they were like, they have this all nailed down. They don't have a clue, all right? Oh, well, shit, there's Marty again. I was hoping some of the other people would, you know, actually help out a little bit too, you know? And thank you, Marty, again. Oh, boy. All right. So who's going to call in about a topic and not act like that guy? That'd be great. Yeah. Yep, Jim Lon, gifted one. We had Jessica Schubach. I used all the patience. Yeah, I don't know, man. It seemed like a normal call at first, and then he just started doing, yeah, we got a discrepancy there. What about and how am I supposed to know? Down in the pavilion, the pops in the shirt. How am I supposed to know what the hell he's talking about? We were talking about Tyler Robinson the whole time, you know. I thought maybe when he was walking around, you know, maybe about to go into the Losi Center building or something. Anybody? You can call in about anything. We need 3 more gifted memberships. They're out of control. They don't exist. I mean, it's what I think is stunning are the amount of things people question. Like they're really looking in this. No, you're not. You're being lunatics. Who cares about some? Oh, I looked at the video and there was a little thing that was going. Who cares, man? Okay, you're looking at something 30 frames a second, and you can't see it because you don't have 5,000 frames a second. You'd be able to see something. You're missing so much information. As a matter of fact, nobody caught the bullet actually going in right when it hits the skin. I guarantee you the bullet hits the skin, then the shirt goes up, and all of that. That's just how it is. But nobody has that kind of speed on a camera. Thank you, Timothy Cecil. And thanks again up there to Marty. As in Marty's Bar and Grill. You guys, call in. That's what this show's about right here. Thank you, Shay Edel. Thank you so much. I thought it was pretty nice, you know. I mean, I could do it again, the same damn thing, by bringing it into... I have a 3D model now of the whole area there.
Call from.
Cecil. Timothy.
To accept, press 1.
Hello?
Hey, this is Timothy again.
Hey, what's going
Calling
on?
back in. Hey, just real quick. Do you want me to send you an email about this case that it's a cold case that's not solved that I'm interested in. So I don't know if you want to cover it or not. But
Well, yeah, you just
I can just send you an email though.
Yeah, you just send me an email and then I look at it. What year is it from?
Oh, yeah. I think it's from like, I don't know, it's in Aurora, Colorado, like in like the 1990s, I think.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So,
we'll send it over.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I'll send it to you. So,
Sweet.
yeah.
I mean, what is it?
I know like Paul Holes talked about it a little bit, but like it's not solved. So I like it, but I don't know if you like it, but it's a pretty interesting case, so.
All right. Well, maybe I'll like it. Send it over.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about it a little bit, or do you want to just?
Well, you could if
just
you. I mean, you could, if you want to. Go ahead.
Okay. So like, I don't know. It's like Al Qaeda Jr. I don't know if you've heard of it, or I don't know if you've looked at it or anything. But it's in like Aurora, Colorado. He like put out these applications for a roommate, and this male guy. He was basically searching applications for roommates for like a bunch of people, like 100 people, but he only selected like 3. And he went to this guy's house, and he like, at first he said he wasn't interested because he had his girlfriend there at the time, and then I guess she saw him, and then he was like, no, he got like spooked, and then he left, but then he came back, and he was like, yeah, I'm interested, but then he ended up like killing the guy. And it was never solved or anything. And they're like, I know Paul Holes covered it, but they're like looking at genetic genealogy because I think he was.
Well, how wasn't it
maybe
solved if they know that he killed him? Or is that just a theory?
Well, it's just a theory because like they think he was from another country, and he used like a fake name, like that didn't come back to anyone.
Oh, I see. They know it's the person who lured him over.
Well, they think it's like the person because of like what happened. But he used like a fake name, and then he withdrew like the exact amount of money that he paid because he's gonna move in there and pay the guy rent, right? So he paid him like $1,000, and then after. Well, they didn't know he was dead yet, but he withdrew money from Wells Fargo with a mask on.
Well, why don't you just send me the, so I can put it together. It's your.
And it withdrew like the exact amount, so
yeah,
so they think he did it. Yeah,
right.
I'll send you an email here soon. So
cool.
I just didn't know if you want to cover it, so I'll send you an email.
All right, awesome.
Okay,
send it to me now, though. Send it to me now. All right.
Okay, I will. Bye.
Thanks. See you. All right, guys, we need one more for the challenge up there. Everyone just stopped again. Jesus, what's this one? Hello?
Call from.
Mary.
Is that the same
To
person?
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Yes, would you like to buy some Mary Kay?
Who? Jeez. That's probably the same person. Let's see. You guys, we need one more for Marty's challenge up there. Friend asked me if someone could have shot him from where they said he was shot from. Yeah, I've been there. I know exactly. I filmed it. It's not too far back there. Yeah, it's nothing. He was right there. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was actually there, so I know exactly You know, the shot came in just like this, and that tent is put exactly. I have the tent on the ground exactly where the tent was. This spot right here. See that? It's 100 exactly where the tent was. Watch. See that? I blink it on and off. See how everything lines up? The little squares on the ground, everything. See that? Ding, 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 ding. So that is exactly, like almost to the inch of where that tent was. That's probably one of my best overlays I've ever done right there. Just perfectly. See that? Ding, ding, ding. I mean, I think it's on the one above that. Yeah, there it is. Right there. This, you know, it's within a half hour after he was shot. I thought it was, when I just looked around, I go, I bet it was right here. And then when we finally got it, it was like literally 15 feet away and then up a level. I mean, right there. So I had him right here without even having any video footage or anything, just basing it on where people were looking. And then I moved around and I was like, oh wow, look at like this spot here is a good one. It would have been great too. I mean, you know, just right there. But the other one had an actual way to get to it. I think you could do it here too. You know, he may have even thought of that, because here's some grass right here that you can walk and you just step right over and you could do that shot. But up here, he had that one extra spot here to put the rifle together. But hey, is anybody going to do that last gifted membership for Marty's challenge? Hate to have to ask another 1,700 times to get that one. That'd be great. Anyways, there's that. Yeah, I think people try, like, I think in this case there's people that are just willfully ignorant. They don't want to know the reality because it's so fun to have this whole fantasy world on just garbage, you know. Like Google Trends, that was such a joke, that whole thing. That never is not a legitimate source to figure out, like, ooh, did somebody search for something? And so this whole channel was built on a fraud, and then Candace Owens sold that person's work, and now they just absolutely killed it, you know? And it's like, man, how sick is that? Hello, you guys. We got one more to go. No, it doesn't say where he went after the quick quack. He went to a Dairy Queen at some point. I bet you he just drove around and he was hanging out down here for hours and hours trying to get back to his rifle. But he didn't want to be too conspicuous, so he just sort of, you know, he kept trying, and eventually he went over to Dairy Queen, which is way over here, and then he came back and is there anybody that's going to get the fifth and final challenge that Marty put out? It always feels like a slap in the face. You know, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. It's just such a strange... Let's see. Lines up perfectly. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. Al Kitty? Al Kitty Jr. Hey, thanks, Timothy Cecil. Let me look in. Is that an actual? Is that going to show up? I don't know. You sure that's how to spell the name there? I went to the Dairy Queen too. It's not really that close. It's not close to the Quick Quack. Yeah. I mean, the Quick Quack's over here. I mean, you know, when you say close, you know, it's 1.5, almost 1.5 miles. So it's not really like right there, you know. It's not 4 blocks. It's 1.5 miles, as I just said. Kite? Oh, Al Kite. Well, thanks for getting that. Appreciate it. Finally. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're taking calls on either, you know, you can call in about Nancy Guthrie if you want. You can call in about the Charlie Kirk case. You can call in about, you know, whatever the hell you want to call in about. Got a few calls in here tonight. Yeah, I don't think 1.5 miles is that close. Yeah, and it's not 4 blocks. So yeah, whatever. I mean, it's not like he went far away from anywhere, really. He was here, then he went to this little strip mall, then he went over to Quick Quack, and then, you know, 6 hours later he's at Dairy Queen. But in between there, he probably went over here again, trying to figure out if he can get the gun, but he wasn't able to get it, and then eventually he went and had dinner. And he probably wanted to get a little bit further away just to sort of feel safe while he's eating and could check, you know, the news, etc. And then eventually he comes back. I mean, I wish I knew what he was doing between, like, I guess, you know, 1 o'clock and before he went to Dairy Queen. And then where was he after Dairy Queen all the way until 1:35 when he drove away? I mean, he was in that town for hours and hours and hours and hours. He was there for 13 hours after the killing before he drove away. That means he spent that whole time hoping to get the rifle. Yeah, I met Paul Holes at the CrimeCon in Louisiana. There's what was the name of the New Orleans, I guess. Yeah, it was cool. It was you know what's really cool about it? It was me, Paul Holes, John Lorden, Mike Morford, Sarah Kalin, her friend, and another person, all just sitting up on top of this deck, and then with Paul Holes. And he came a little bit later, but it was just us 8 sitting up there. That was pretty cool. I was there. I already met him, Sandy. Thanks, Karen W. Is anybody going to call in? I mean, it's just like, it's crazy. I specifically want people who think something just doesn't add up. And you can call in and tell me what that thing is that doesn't add up. Man, this is another tough one. Yeah, it's weird. It's like we hardly ever... It's always a struggle to reach the goal unless there a few people show up that are always the bigger supporters. And that's just... I don't want to have to rely on that. I want other people to help sometimes. To start a figure skating team. Now, let me try it. Let me look that up again. Yeah, I have it. Al Kite. I'm just gonna do that. In Colorado. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Oh well. Can't really do that one. Oh, to meet me. Okay. Cool. Just waiting for the phone calls, you guys. Where the hell are the phone calls? Oh, man, we're not going to reach the goal. Yeah, just after we made up for another night, we're now behind again. All we needed was a basic, normal night. Yeah, you can comment. You don't have to send. Nobody has to send in anything, Thistle. You know, nobody has to send in anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a fun. I've had booths at 2 CrimeCon, and it's just sort of. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe one day I'll do it again. I don't know. I always think people are trolls when they say that. I've already said 1,000 times. If you don't have any, if you can't afford it, do not send anything in. Okay. Let's see. Yep, saw that, Sandy. Thanks. I was thinking of trying to put together a video of all the elements in a row and the supporting information, all sort of in one, and using my footage and everything, and just putting it out there, because I think that's going to be the real, the answer, What do you mean, Oki? What does that mean? Oh, his name is Oki? Okay. I think it'd be cool, right? You started off with all the different, I would actually start it off with the notification that they were going to go there, and then maybe a week later there's audio of somebody seeing Tyler Robinson walking around there, and then you bring up in the documents mentioning the 7 or 8:28 in the morning, except even before that you see the car driving, so I would put that in there first, and then 8:28 then described what they were talking about, show it on a map, and then 934 driving up to 935, driving into the same area where the car is parked. Then from there, the dry run, and then we don't know where he went after the 10:07 sighting. And then the next thing we know is that he's heading back in again. And then have this all on footage, because I have all the footage of every single element here. The different surveillance shots, and then me walking the same spot. So you can see the whole thing all put together. It'd probably take like an hour. But nobody would watch it. That's the sad. When I say nobody, I mean, yes, some of you would watch it. I mean, the numbers would be horrendous. And to spend that much time. No, doesn't exist. Never made it to newspapers.com. I could try another one. Hey, what was the thing that Nancy Grace was talking about? That there was some sort of an arrest, either like yesterday. I mean, nobody talked about it. It wasn't even on any news outlets at all, except she said that. Was that a real thing, or what's the deal there? You just said it was 1990s. And I got rid of the date restriction. It still didn't show up. All right. This other newspaper archive has something. And got a hallucination. What do you mean? I had a chat that actually made up a scene in a movie with a timestamp that doesn't exist. I don't know what you mean by I got a hallucination. I don't remember doing that. Thank you, Stephen Connerly. Yeah, this one right here. A 53-year-old man found dead in his Aurora townhome this week appeared to have been stabbed, police said Friday. Detectives also learned that the victim, Oki A. Kite, had once advertised for a roommate and had rented out a room to a man on May 18th. Officers found Kite on Monday afternoon in his townhome in the 2000 block of South Helena Street, west of Horseshoe Park and southeast Mexico Avenue. Detectives said they believe Kite's attacker took off in the victim's 1983 GMC Sierra pickup, which was found in the 15,300 block of East Evans Avenue. So you got that. And what's the other one? This one's May 26th. Investigators say a man found dead in his home was murdered, though they declined to say Tuesday how the victim was killed or why the case is a homicide. Kite was known to be punctual, so his co-workers quickly became concerned. Kite's gray and blue 1983 GMC Sierra was found a few blocks away from his home. Detectives believe Kite's killer may have taken the truck after the crime. They think they might get some DNA out of that. Anyways, you have to send me another email that has Okie in it. Yeah, we're still about $90 away from just the basic. Jeez, maybe a tough one. That's not really a topic, Lori. Hey, no problem. This'll. Yeah, it was weird. I used ChatGPT to quickly. There was like 16 new warrants, and I put them into ChatGPT, and I had it tell me like what's new, you know. And then when we got to a couple of them, it had 2 new points in them. Maybe we can go over those again here in a second. I got to go use the restroom though. Okay, I'm not going to be resting in there, I can tell you that. Let's see. Oh, cool. That one worked. Hey, thanks, Shannon. All right. All right, let's go. Let's look for these from the other day. Warrants. I have them listed. The 3, there was only 3 of them that had something interesting in them. So it was this one right here. This portion. All right. It said, what do you mean there goes my answer? Thanks for remembering. What? I use 3D Studio Max. It costs $1,800. I'm actually having, it's coming due every May. I pay that. Did the Charlie Kirk autopsy news leak? What does that mean, news leak? That said the bullet fragment didn't match the rifle. Also say the fragment was found inside the body. And listen, the fragments were all found inside of his body. The bullet couldn't be matched. Not that it didn't match. It couldn't be matched because of the damage done to the bullet, which is common in cases. The shell casing, however, that was still in the rifle, was fired from that rifle. Okay, so the only thing missing from that is the bullet. Well, the bullet's in Charlie Kirk's neck. And we know it's from that rifle because his parents identified him as walking through the tunnel where he had the rifle in his pants. That's why he was limping. And then we see him limping all the way up onto the roof where he jumps over a little wall and then takes the rifle out of his pants and then uses a screwdriver to with 2 bolts to connect it again, and then stands up and runs over to the corner and then shoots Charlie Kirk in the neck, and then runs off. Then at that point he wraps the gun in a towel because he's got to quickly get out of there. He doesn't have time to put it back in his pants, so he runs over to the corner of the roof, and he's got it wrapped in a towel, jumps down, and he struggles keeping it wrapped as he goes across into the woods, and he dumps the rifle in the woods. And then he changes into I think he got rid of his pants and got into shorts and a maroon shirt, and then eventually changes back into some jeans and kept a maroon shirt on, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Let's see. We need 17 more channel memberships. How about I'll do if you guys do 7, I'll do 5. All right. How about that? That'll be my just a Hail Mary. If you guys donate 7 channel memberships, I'll donate 5. I'm just trying to get to a reasonable number here. Yeah. Jeez. I know. It's sort of like Idaho 4 wasn't complicated either. It's really simple stuff, you know. It's the same kind of thing. A search warrant was obtained for Tyler Robinson's cell phone. During a review of the data and information stored on the device, I observed a Google Maps route with a start time of, and I knew as soon as I saw the UTC plus 0 that you got to subtract 6. And I know that because in my 3D Studio Max program, that's what I had to put in there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thanks, Marty. There you go. Oh, geez. Well, that you made that the whole show. Anyways, thanks, Marty. You're so generous. I just wish it wasn't such a struggle in here, you know. I don't know what model I have to do to keep, you know, get the support. I don't know how to get the viewers, because what I put out, my videos, I think are really interesting and compelling, but people don't even hit the like button, for God's sakes. You know, and for some reason, they always say, well, it's a shitty video then, because people didn't, you know, but everybody in the comments says, oh, wow, what a great video, what a great video. And so I don't know how to get, you know, the views. And it has nothing to do with people always say, oh, Craig, because you're asking people for support. They're not even getting notified, for God's sakes, you know, so I don't know. It's getting tough. But thanks, Marty. That was very kind of you. No, if anybody wants to do, I'll do, if you want to do 5 for 5, then, oh, well, shit, there's Phyllis. I'm sending it in now. Thanks, Phyllis. That was very kind of you. Oh, and you're a moderator. See, like, the thing is, like, Phyllis is hilarious in here. Have you guys ever noticed that? All right, here we go. I'm going to do... Karen didn't want to be one. Well, I'm going to give 5 because of Marty and Phyllis. Hold on. Here it comes. There we go. I'm not sure if you're there, Marty, but thank you. I know, isn't that wild? I mean, they have me on their shows. I've been on Court TV a bunch of times. I don't know, man. I really can't explain it. I have no idea. Yeah, no, you would think so. And how's it feel, Marty? Is the pain medicine helping out when you got to go use the facility? Oh man, I've had that. Oh shit. That's good enough. Okay, good. Yeah, you would think so, but there just isn't, you know. So the key is trying to get you guys need to go out and say, "Hey, come over." And they'll always say, "Oh, he's the guy that's always trying to get the money. He's always trying to." And the thing is you guys, for you that are sitting here right now that haven't watched before, my channel has donated $292,000, or something of that nature. What I think it's that, right? Like, what is it? Yeah, $292,000 since January of 2020, and that's like the main thing, the important thing that we do here. So I try to raise funds where I can make a living, and then with the ad revenue and everything like that, at the same time we can donate thousands of dollars every single month. And we have scholarship funds. Like, we want to try to make a difference outside of just doing a show. It seems like it's sort of almost meaningless, like, hey, my channel, I feel like, makes a big difference in the true crime world even without donating, because I'm one of the few people that literally covers true crime as if it's true crime. Like, I'm literally putting together the facts of the case so that you can see it. The other people, not only do they put out bullshit information, they don't donate a nickel to anything. So we do both of those things. Now, unfortunately, it requires me to have to sit here and ask over and over and over and over again during the shows, which I don't like doing at all. It's not fun. But unfortunately, it's become sort of the only way to get there, I've noticed. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. But at least I cover true crime the correct way, and there is a correct way to do it, meaning you're putting together the factual elements of the case, speculating reasonably based on the evidence that you're given, and we also are making a huge difference outside because we've donated $24,000 to a scholarship fund. We're on our 4th round currently. We've already given scholarships out to 8 people. And we're giving another 3, so there'll be 11 people. And we have a DNA fund that we've put over $100,000 in for identifying Jane and John Does. Does that mean anything to anybody? It just seems like people just go, who cares? Just do the true crime. Hey, I just want to talk about Candace. Hey, Candace Owens bullshit. Let's just do it over. It makes me angry, you guys. Makes me angry. I just read about it, Timothy, just a second ago. Yes, but did the Daily Mail autopsy story say there was only one fragment? The Daily Mail article is a joke, Raider. They jumped out and said, the bullet didn't match! And it's just absolutely bullcrap, okay? There were multiple fragments in there. Who cares what the Daily Mail said? Daily Mail is about 70% accurate. And when I say that, I mean some stories are, within the same story, they're 70% accurate. They're going to try to sell it to people. Yeah, well, I have a phone number on the screen, you guys, so if anybody wants to call in and discuss this case, that'd be great. Yeah, it's pretty much synonymous right there. This thistle. Marty's looking up a cold case right now of Coors Light. He didn't say light, though. Yeah. Daily Mail. Man, quoting Daily Mail is just almost embarrassing, so. The missing 30-06 through and through is the conspiracy theory. You guys, listen. You know what's amazing? I said what happened before everybody did it. As a matter of fact, even like Paramount Tactical pushed back when I said the bullet was yawing and stuff. But then over time he was like, you know what? I think there is a possibility of that. And he's been saying that for a long time now. But I was saying that I think the bullet yawed and then it probably fragmented. But the yawing is the key portion, because if it's not going in with the tip first and it's gyroscopically stable, it's going to like basically slap the skin incredibly hard, and then that's why there's so much of a huge shock wave, it's like bad. But if it wasn't like that, the bullet would have, like if it was stable, it would have went right in, and then boom, he probably went like that and down, but it wouldn't have had all of that force that was put outward. I know, wouldn't that be cool, Phyllis? It'd be great if every single true crime YouTube channel donated the same percentages. My God, we would be making such a huge difference. But I don't begrudge people for not doing that. It's just they don't do it. We're one of the only ones that does it, and at this level, like people go, "That's not true, Gray. What about they name these people that are massive podcasts that have millions of viewers and make millions of dollars a year. I'm not one of those people. Okay, I try to do what I can do. I'll just do it some other time, Timothy. I don't really want to keep digging into that. But thank you. By the way, the yawing comes from a shot-out barrel from Grandpa's rifle. Right. We looked up all of that. You guys remember that when we did? I could scroll back. In fact, let me look here. Let's see if I can find it. I'll tell you when I did this, even. All right, I'm going to scroll way the hell down. It's going to be way down here. I wonder if it's... I think it might be like in this one. I don't know if it has the date on here. It says, is a Mauser model 98 30-06 more likely to yaw than a newer rifle? And it talked about, why yaw happens, bullet aerodynamics and velocity, spin. It's way down on this list here. Does it show up again? Angle of bullet. So it must have been right around in here. It's just weird how there's no date on it. Or does it show that? Yeah. I guess it doesn't say. But anyways, we looked this up months ago. Look how far down that is on my ChatGPT. Now it says why an old Mauser might, right here, might show more yaw. Many surplus Mausers have worn bores, damaged crowns, or reprofiling, rechambering from service. This is from like September, to be of the month that he was shot. I mean, we did it right at the beginning, and I was telling people yaw, and got a lot of pushback from all the experts out there. And it's sort of later on when you analyze it, you can see. And I remember we were reading through this, and it matched exactly what we're seeing. You know, like if I said, how does a yawing bullet affect the shockwave? I guess that's it. And it might say, a bullet that is yawing right. Boom, see? There you go. See, that's exactly what I said from the very beginning, using logic, reason, and common sense without being a gun expert. Isn't that weird? It's weird how you can do that. Anyways, let's see. So the new information that came out, it says a search warrant was obtained for Tyler Robinson's cell phone. During a review of the data and information stored on the device, I observed a Google Maps route with a start time of 9/10/2025, so September 10th, 2025 at 6:46:13 UTC 0, but I know it's -6, so you got to go back 6 hours. So it was really 12:46 hours. And then I remembered thinking, oh shit, that's right when he's at the mall. And then when you read further, it says, the route start time was approximately 23 minutes after the shooting. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were near the Mountain Shadows Shopping Center. According to Google Maps, this shopping center is approximately 7 minutes from Utah Valley University campus. You know what's really interesting about that, though, is just yesterday on the show, we were kind of calculating out. Right here, they say that this was at 12:30. He was right here. So from there, it would take 6 or 7 minutes to get to his vehicle. And so that would make it 12:37. And then it's 7 minutes from here to get to the shopping center. And that would make it 12:44. And that happens to be exactly the time, 12:44 and 50 seconds, I think it was, where Tyler Robinson's car parks right there. And it sits there for a couple minutes and then leaves at 12:46 and 50 seconds. But that means at 12:46, while the car was sitting there, he searched how to get to the Quick Quack car wash, and guess what he does? He pulls away, because right then he's headed to the Quick Quack car wash. So now they have this, they have the most immaculate, incredible timeline that they're going to be presenting at trial. You guys watch. It's going to be insane. They're going to have like exactly where he is and why he's even doing something at certain times. Twice they have this type of information. They have him on camera, parked, and he drives away because he just typed in. He just typed in how to get to Quick Quack. Do you guys, are you following me here? So he leaves at 12:46 and goes to Quick Quack, and he's over there at 12:57. There's a lot of lights on this street, so it probably took a while to get there. Then later, it says on the one, I think the portion below, yeah, so at the Quick Quack, they actually see his license plate. And now we know that Tyler Robinson, they had him at 8:28. They have him here right now. You know, so he's right around the crime scene right at the right time, right? And then it says, I also observed a second Google Maps route that had been stored on Tyler Robinson's device. The Google Maps route had a start time of 9/11/2025, but, you know, it's +0 again, so you have to -6 at it. But guess what? It keeps you still in 9/11. So that would make it at 1:33 is when he did another search on here. And he says the route start time was approximately 1:33. The starting point for the route was listed with the GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were in the neighborhood to the north of and close proximity to the area where the aforementioned rifle was located near UVU. And the address of that house is 3419 South River Road, and that happens to be, not that one, it's right here, this house right there. And amazingly, that time was 1:33. Well, guess what? We already know that the car parked here at 12:47 and left at 1:35 because at 1:33 he looked up how to get home, and then he drove away at 1:35, likely right after he said, all right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Doesn't that just make all, I mean, imagine, look at the detail there, you guys. They're literally going to have it like that at the trial. They're not even going to have to, they're going to bring up these different points, but they're going to say that it's going to be worded something like this. And, you know, like when they get to this portion of the evening, they're going to say, a person living at this address right here noticed on their surveillance camera that at 12:47 a.m., Tyler Robinson's Dodge Challenger parked across the street from his house. The same video camera shows that it drives away at 1:35. But we also know that while he was sitting there, Tyler Robinson was on his cell phone searching on how to get home at 1:33, and then he pulls away at 1:35. It's going to be something just like that. Boom. And you're going to say the same thing after here. They're going to say, okay, Tyler Robinson, he went into the woods there and he disposed of the rifle, and then he changed clothing. And then we have him right here running back behind this house at 12:30. Now, we believe his car was parked somewhere over in this area, and it takes roughly 6 or 7 minutes to get there. Well, that's going to be about 1:37, 1:38. Then he's going to get to his car, and if he took off immediately, he'd get to the shopping mall at 12:43 or 12:44. But let's say he took off a minute later. You know, he gets there right around 12:45. He gets to the shopping mall, 12:44 and 50 seconds, in fact. He pulls in there. And then we also know that he did a search right there while he was sitting there to get to Quick Quack, and here's that information, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just going to get nailed. But they're going to allow cameras. Yeah, this judge is really into... you know, he's the exact opposite of how I pictured he would be. Let's put it that way. He's been very like pro-transparency at every single stop. He's been that way, Like every time, there's been so many times where it's like, oh God, he's not going to, boom. He completely shocks us and says the exact opposite of what you thought he was going to say. And so that's pretty amazing. And this is a case that I think it'll have to be something extraordinary that he won't allow it to be streamed, because this one is one of the ones that absolutely needs to be seen by the public so that the reality sets in and all these nut jobs out there will have just, you know, the sad part is they won't have egg on their face in their community. They'll just pretend it's a cover-up. Oh, here's the cover-up bit, you know. It doesn't matter what's presented at the trial. It's going to be called a cover-up. That's just the truth. And by the way, hey, welcome Phyllis Watson. You don't have to do anything different. But now, if there's a nut job in here, you can remove them. Well, he's still going to be the judge, even if it's a change of venue. I don't really care myself. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to... nah, you know what? I'm just going to stream it. It's like when you go there, what's the point? You know? I guess you get to see all the photographs and things. I think they won't show any of Charlie Kirk being shot or anything, but they will in court. That won't be streamed, but I think every single thing related to Tyler Robinson will be shown. All the surveillance footage, the timeline, the charts, all that stuff. I don't know what that means. Horse teeth, cow teeth. All right, and then the other element that was new in these documents was this part right here that I've already mentioned, but it says Utah Valley University security video. How do we know it's on video, Gray? Have you seen it? Well, because it says it right here, you idiot. It says right there, university security video. And I'm arguing with a fictitious person right now, okay? But this is what they do. You know, you could say Agent Mortensen reviewed Utah Valley University security video and discovered Robinson's Challenger enter UVU parking structure. How do they know it's his? How do we even know that there's a video, Gray? And it's just like, shut the hell. What do you mean? It says it right there. You can't lie in these things. There is a video here. All right? And it enters into the parking structure. After entering the structure, Robinson parked and exited the vehicle. They see him do this, apparently, and walked around the campus until 9:24. When he returned to his car that's when he returned to his car at 9:24. But in the video of him walking around on campus, etc., Robinson is seen wearing a ball cap, a red T-shirt. All right, let me read it like this. I'm going to read it while we take a look at this. Hold on. All right. All right, here we go. He was seen wearing a ball cap, a red T-shirt, light-colored shorts, and Converse-style tennis shoes. Wow, that's not him. Let's see. Then we go back to this one. There he is again. That's just before that. I mean, you know, like the shorts to me, you know, what I call them light, I don't know. I think he was changing clothes up all over the place in this one. But that's absolutely him walking right there. And it's like there's these little shortcuts that if you went to school there, you would know about, and he doesn't know about it. So he does that whole route where he walks this way and then around, So he goes like this way, and then he kind of continues around, and he goes way over there, and then around like that. I just wanted to use my drawing tool for a little bit. During the time that Robinson walked around the campus, he is seen visiting areas such as a wooded area near where a rifle is later recovered, and the site where the victim was shot. So he went down to where the victim was shot. See, that's what that guy that called in earlier, if he had said it like that, we'd all know. Robinson leaves the parking structure in his vehicle at approximately 9:32. So they see him come back at 9:24, and he didn't leave immediately. 8 minutes later, he's leaving the parking structure, and he traveled northeast from the campus, which is in the direction from which he is later observed walking towards the campus prior to the shooting. They seem to always leave out, though, the dry run portion. I wonder if they haven't been able to validate, to prove that this is him, though. We've done, I have these, side by side, it's absolutely him walking here. He even has the maroon shirt that they talk about. I think this is almost what he's wearing in this video right here. This one. Not that one, right? This one. When he's running back here. Ah, shit. Now look at there he is right there. Just look at that. That's exactly what he looks like in that when he's walking. Look. He just has jeans on. See? That's the same guy right there. And then there he is again. See? This time he has the jeans on. He's wearing exactly the same clothing. And by the way, he looks stockier and stuff in this one because of the camera angle. I was trying to see this one though when he finally, when he comes out of here. See, look, he's wearing shorts in this one. Can you see that? Like you see that his shoe right there. His shoe, and these are the lighter shorts, and then the dark top. Okay. And then, right there is another pretty good one. That's one foot, and that's the other foot right there. See that? 1, 2. Although that one, so that's weird. See how it's pixelated and that foot stayed there? It's pretty funny how weird shit like that works on cameras. But watch this. Ding, ding, ding. And then look right over here. His left leg plants. See how that's like his knee right there, and that's his foot. But then watch when he steps forward, the foot stayed there. And you can see, look at none of the other pixels in the entire video are moving at that point. So it's kind of, I don't know what TMZ did with their little, however they did that, but that little foot area stays there. Look, see, it's not there, and then foot, and then continues on, and then out, and then it just stayed right there. So he's definitely wearing shorts, and he's got the maroon shirt on. So he switched into the same clothing that he did the dry run on after he went into the wooded area. See what I'm saying? God, you guys are lucky. Anyway, I'm lucky to have all you guys, the freaks. Now, TMZ is They just ruined that whole shot. They should have left it wide angle, like wide, the full video, so we could just see it ourselves. Sucks. And then again, this is where he was. There he is. And then at 12:46, he searches. And then look at that, he's leaving. And look what time it is. 12:46 and 32 seconds. So he's got the car wash on his phone. And he's taken off. I mean, he has a treasure trove of GPS, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing, man. He planned the shooting well, but none of the other stuff. I mean, he had his cell phone on. He's texting, looking at things. He's screwed. His cell phone is absolutely going to prove that he's on campus. And then I believe that they're going to have DNA of Tyler Robinson on the roof itself, where his hand slid across. I don't know how they're going to mitigate something like that. It's so devastating. Just think about it. Jesus. Oh, it'll never disprove anything to those guys, Raiders, because it'll just be it's just a cover-up, you see? And that's how they'll keep content going. But they're going to lose credibility to the masses of rational-minded people. They're going to go, wow, these people sold us a bill of goods this whole time. And, all the rest of us, we are shills for the government, of course. We can't think for ourselves. We just read what the government tells us to say, and then that's what we do. I know. He's like, that's the funny part about Tyler Robinson when he said, if I could just get that rifle, there'd almost be like no evidence I was even here. That's just not true at all. As a matter of fact, your parents recognized you in a picture. Okay? And then you said all these text messages around. What's weird about him when he says that comment about, I wish I could have just never told anybody. But you already had the automatic text sent to go look at the message under your keyboard. So, like, he was already going to be saying something. Yeah, maybe he did, though. maybe he put his cell phone on the rifle. I'll tell you what. One of the comments that I think kind of makes him deserve the death penalty even more is I think is it in this one? Let's see. No, I think it might be this one. No. That's not the... It's in the charging document. Oh, yeah. This one right here, I feel like this comment is callous and needs to be examined a little bit deeper by a jury or somebody. He says, judging from today, I say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a $2,000 scope. I mean, that's sick, Like literally talking about how the quality, hey, it did a good job, and man, are you guys even here anymore? I mean, it's just so slow, the conversation. It makes me just like, I don't know. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine, man. I think that was like a $2,000 scope. Hey, by the way, delete this exchange, huh? My dad wants photos of the rifle. And guess what? His father actually said that he asked for the same thing. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. So the grandpa's he's working under like cover-up mode. The feds released a photo of the rifle. And it's very unique. He's calling me right now. Not going to answer. And then his dad says the exact same thing in there, like he's going to try to call him. Since Trump got in office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. ... I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you, Tyler. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Yeah. Okay. Did just fine. That's sick. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that it's an older gun, and he's like, hey, it did just fine, man. This thing, it did its job, man. That's what it means. That's right, Marty. That's right. Yeah, they're going to have all of the information. They have all of that shit down. That the call came in. He admits to it. His dad said he tried to call. You know, I put all that together in other videos out there. But I think I need to do one full, like, all the way through, you know, start to finish of what they've got now. And then, of course, you know, then new information will come out, and then have to add to that. But I think I could put together something pretty interesting. They have all of his phone records. Every time he used his phone during, probably within a week of, and then up until he was arrested, they're going to look at and see what it means. Yeah. Alright, you guys. Looks like you guys are dead as a doornail. So I'm going to get out of here. I was out working on getting my kayak ready to go. I used to have these, there's like a kayak, this guy, he's pretty cool. Let me show you this. He's pretty funny. Like, he just has all these videos. He sells Navarre kayaking is what he is. This guy's name. Let's see. Yeah, so this is what I did today. I'll show you. Yeah, this guy's like just, you know. But he makes all these aftermarket parts for these kayaks to make things easier. So he has this one part. Yeah, you get the drill out. This is what I did. Yeah, so see this seat right here? This part right here, he made. Like this part here with the 5 holes in it, he made. And see this little slot here? That's where this round part goes in, but this raises the whole seat up. So he has these little parts here, and I would just tape them or whatever. But he does this thing with zip ties. Yeah. Yeah, so I drilled the holes in there and I did the zip ties. Yeah. Yeah. So I just did all this, and man, it worked great. It's like really tight in there. So yeah, I learned that if you turn a canoe over, you can wear it as a hat because it's capsized. You get it? Oh, my drum roll's not working. That's too bad. But it would have went ta-dum bump. How about that one, Jim? Does that count? This kid's interrupted him. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Like, it really makes it solid. So now you just set it on there and don't have to worry about that. Last year, I remember I spent a lot of time. You gotta spend a lot of time trying to make everything more efficient, you know. So you know what's weird is where I went fishing. There's these steps that go into the water on cement, and so what I have is these 4 carpets, like doormats, that I have folded up, and I put them on each stair, and then I have this rope or something, like a handle rope, and then I just let it down the steps into the water because I don't want it to rip up the bottom. And then I fold those back up, put them back in there for the end, you know. It's pretty awesome, really. It doesn't sound like anybody gives a shit. All right, anyways, you guys. All right, I'm going to take off. It's like talking to a brick wall. I'm not sure where's my scene? Is it right there? Yeah, there it is. So thanks to Wild Bill Wassman twice in a row at the beginning. Then we had Alley Cake twice in a row. Then Wild Bill Wassman again. Then K-Me. Then Karen did a challenge. Got 5 memberships there. Then Richard Watts, Alley Cake, Wild Bill Wassman, Tina G, Stephen Connerly, right there. Then Wild Bill Wassman, Horse Teeth, Cow Teeth, Tina G gifted one, Alley Cake, Timothy Cecil, Karen again gifted 5, very kind. Jim Lon, I drink heavily. I'm going to start a new band called Horse Teeth, Cow Teeth. If we can work out a licensing agreement. You're crazy, Jim. There's Shay Edel, Alley Cake. And also thanks to, thank you so much there to Marty's Bar and Grill. Thank you. I really appreciate your support there. And let's see. Then we had, I'm not sure where we're at, but Shay Edel, Alley Cake, Timothy Cecil, and I'm Essential. I think I missed that one. Thanks so much for those 5 there. Didn't see that one had happened. And then Jessica Schubach, then Jim Lon, Timothy Cecil, Shay Edel, Timothy Cecil again, then Karen, Timothy Cecil, Stephen Connerly, gifted one, then Shannon, then Phyllis Watson, then I gifted 5, then Timothy Cecil, and Lisa Valenzuela. Hey, no problem. Marty's Bar and Grill. Yeah, thanks everybody. Well, Blazers are playing tomorrow at 6 in the first game against the San Antonio Spurs. So, you know, I guess it could be like a later show or who knows. What's this picture? Oh, a bass. I guess that's a bass that Jim Lawn caught. It's a largemouth. Hey, no problem there, Thistle. Not sure why that guy's still on the screen, but that's what I did today. All right. Well, anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Man, you guys are just so like lethargic in the chat the last month or so. It's just like there's a comment and then 10 minutes later another comment. You know. Do I have to like? I think I should ask more questions or something. That's what it is. Hey, everybody, where are you from? All right. Hey, where'd you go to high school, huh? Hey, what year did... Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is. Okay? I need to get more questions going on so that you guys are, like, answering and engaging. And I think maybe YouTube will pick up on that and go, oh, hey, there's people over there. They seem to be active. Let's send more over there. Maybe that's it. Okay, hey, we just figured it out. So if you guys could chat a little bit more, and I'll pretend that I'm asking something really interesting, and you guys can... Maybe if I do some poll questions and... Chesapeake Bay, where the blue crabs are. Those are good. All right, anyways, thanks, everybody. Looking forward to tomorrow's basketball game. I'm predicting the Blazers are going to beat the San Antonio Spurs in the playoffs. We have more talent on our team than they do. Anyways, see you guys later. All right. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Now, how do I do this? Oh, yeah. That's right. Go Blazers. I don't have my sound effects, so I'm just going to have to end it after this. Oh, there's one. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I'm never watching again.